Hey, hi. Now, I know I kind of said I wasn't going to do another weight loss video, but I was wrong. And I woke up this morning actually thinking about this and thought, okay, I'm going to do another one because I have a whole bunch of other stuff to say to you and some help for you in right here in this video. Now, we're going to do some tapping work and some visualization work later on. So I do need you to do something first. Click show more below this video. And there you're going to find my disclaimer clear at the bottom. Continuing to do this video work with me means you've agreed to that. And also, I have a couple of things for you. I have a free gift that is going to teach you how to see what's really underneath your stuff, your issue, your weight, your pain, because it is pain. And a second video to help you learn how to use some tapping to help yourself. It's free. It's all yours. All you have to do is click on that link. I also have an invitation to my private Facebook group in there. And you can click on that. You do have to answer the questions to agree to the group rules. But other than that, that's all that has to happen. So I want to talk about weight loss. Actually, I didn't think I did, but it seems I was wrong. I do. And I'm going to talk about this in a way that you have probably never heard before, because I'm really tired of everybody beating themselves up because they can't lose the weight and keep it off. And I'm tired of having all of us beat ourselves up and feel like we're bad people because we have emotions. And probably 100% of you watching this video have lost some weight and gained it back, maybe a whole bunch of times. I have two friends who've been on this weight loss journey, and I asked one of them a couple of weeks ago, I said, well, how much have you lost? I mean, and yeah, she's losing weight. She looks great. She said, well, which time? I thought, oh my gosh. And so I said, okay, so you've been at this repeatedly. What happened? Why did you go off the diet and exercise program? And she thought a minute and she said, well, I just didn't want to do it anymore. I got tired of it. I didn't want to feel accountable anymore, or it didn't feel good to me anymore. And she said, I really don't know why. And I thought, okay, I do know why. And this is a big, important thing that I'm going to tell you. And I want you to remember that I am not selling you anything. I promise you have my word. There's no pitch at the end of this video or anywhere in this video. I am one teeny little voice teaching this in the middle of $100 billion weight loss industry. Now, bear in mind, a lot of the products and services that they are marketing are actually quite good. They're good for you and beneficial. But what I have found is that the mindset that they are selling along with these products is just poison. It's poison for your soul. And if those products and services were really the guaranteed fix to taking weight off and keeping it off, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be talking to you and you wouldn't be sitting here listening to me. No one would be overweight. So we know that that's not true. And that mindset, that push through the pain and be accountable and stay strong and be determined and you're just try harder. You don't want it bad enough. I think that's bullshit. None of those things feel good. None of those things are any fun at all. I think it's not helpful. Okay, so what you have going on, the reason that you've got this happening, that those things aren't a permanent fix, is because of your brain. And it's not that you're a bad person. It is not that you don't have enough willpower. That is a lie. There's nothing wrong with you. I promise. You're just fine. But your brain is wired first and foremost to keep you safe. Safe. Now, there's a funny thing that happens in the animal kingdom, and we are animals, just like all the rest of them. And when something happens, I believe this is a very deeply wired biological thing. When something happens that causes us to be afraid, we have an actual biological reaction to that mental thing. Okay, now it may not be that we're being chased by a tiger. It may be that our boss came in and yelled at us, but that triggers a fear response. And in the animal kingdom, the normal response to fear, the immediate response, is to make yourself appear larger. Okay, stay with me here. This is a new way for you to look at what you have going on in terms of weight. Okay, so they make themselves look larger, and you know they do. Go, if you don't believe me, stop this and go watch some videos of cats and dogs or anything that gets startled or is frightened. They immediately puff up. You know, the hackles are raised, everything's out in order to make themselves look larger, to ward off a threat, something that feels dangerous to them. Now, what is happening in our brains, because we are human, is that we're not turning loose of it when the threat is over. Animals release that threat very quickly. They live in the present very, very easily. It's a thing that we are learning, that we haven't mastered. But we hold on to it because we're really smart. And we go, well, that could happen again. The tiger could come back. My boss might yell at me again. I need to stay on guard. And so we keep that hardwired need to make ourselves larger. We continue to have that active in our entire mind body. And so we start to gain weight. Make sense? Okay, stay with me here. So you cannot override the need to keep yourself safe. You can't. You cannot do it. That's your brain's job, and we're a great design. So what you can do is start to get in touch with what you're feeling emotionally, and you can start to release those emotional things. And you all know you're eating emotionally. I mean, we all do, even me. I've never had a weight problem. We all do it. I realized, I'm going to use me as an example. Comfort food gets its name for a good reason, because something in that, you're feeling sad or mad or scared. You had a bad day at work, you had a fight with your husband, or something has gone haywire, and you suddenly feel a need to eat some chocolate or some chips or something. And chocolate and chips are not necessarily bad things. I also want us to stop being afraid of our food, for heaven's sake. That's crazy. Food is a good thing. It enables us to stay in our bodies and live. We have to eat. So let's eat some stuff we're not afraid of. And let's stop being afraid of all that stuff out there. So I found myself in the evenings, I've been making brewed chocolate, and I really like it. And I like it mixed with some almond milk and some coconut cream. And then I sweeten it with a little stevia, and it's really delicious. And after about 3 or 4 nights of that, all of a sudden I realized I was kind of craving it. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. What is up with that? And I found that I needed more company. I went in and got quiet and looked at it and realized I needed some more company. I needed some conversation with a friend in the evening, or multiple friends, instead of just sitting there by myself craving chocolate. Yeah, is this ringing? I think a whole bunch of you just went, oh my gosh, yeah, this makes sense. Okay, so stay with me here. And remember, there are some of us teaching it this way, but there aren't very many of us. And I'm one teeny weeny little voice in this giant $100 billion weight loss business machine out there. And it's really, really hard to not listen to those. And again, I think a lot of the products and services that they are marketing are excellent. but the mindset that's coming with it is not. So you're going to have to make your way through some of that. I think where I was headed next with this. So if you can, think of your brain as a computer, the motherboard in a computer. And you've got programs running in the background all the time. And a lot of these programs were created in childhood. Okay? And when you have something that triggers one of those old programs, and they're all designed to keep you safe, you may have inherited some of these from your parents, who may themselves have been fighting and struggling and back and forth with weight. Stop thinking of it as a fight, by the way. It's a fight you can't win because you live there. If you're going to have this fight, it's with you. It's between you and you. You cannot win that. One of you has to lose. I also want you to not think of weight loss as a solution to something. Because when you do that, it starts feeling like a goal with competition. And again, the one you're competing with is yourself, right? Stop that. I want you to embrace you, not fight with yourself. So when you have these programs and they get triggered, and they may have been things you got from your parents, all of a sudden you've got that old programming running again. It becomes active again. And it can be from almost anything. I mean, it could be that you have to go out and shop for a new dress to attend a wedding, and you've had to buy a different size than what you expected or what you're used to. And all of a sudden, oh my God. So you go ahead, you buy the dress that fits, but then guess what? You really feel like going out and eating sugar. Now, you know that that isn't going to make you feel better, except for the short term. Sugar is pretty addictive. So you want to be careful with it. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It can give you a quick burst of energy. But think of it as medicine a little bit. So that mindset, again, that's where you got triggered. I want you to start listening to a different voice. Stop listening to all these outside voices, including me to a certain extent. I want to teach you and help you to listen to yourself. You are the one who lives in your body. You are your best judge of what is appropriate for you, nobody else. I don't think there is a one-size-fits-all diet. I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all exercise program. There just isn't. And if you start listening to your inner wisdom, you're going to know what feels good to you, because it's going to feel good to you. Okay? So we're going to do a little bit of tapping first. And then we're going to do a little bit of neuroplasticity. And then we're going to do some visualization work. I'm going to get a drink of water real quick here before we move into that. And someone pretty soon will put in, okay, tapping starts at 7 minutes and 48 seconds or whenever it starts. But remember, we need repetition in order for things to stick. And a lot of my work, I'm a pain specialist. And what you're experiencing actually, I believe, is pain. But repetition is necessary to form new neural pathways in your brain. Okay, it's a neuroplasticity issue. And that's what a lot of my work entails. So you may want to, not every time, but a lot of times, every month, you're going to come back and listen to me talk about this over and over and over again. Again, because you're going to be bombarded in ads and on TV. And when you listen to things online, all of that marketing is out there telling you something different. And you got to come back in and get still and listen to yourself. So we're going to do some tapping first. Just if you're new to this, just follow along, tap where I tap, speak out loud. You have to speak out loud. You're directly addressing your own subconscious, and we are making use of our electrical system. And I talk about this in other videos. This is already going to be a long video. I'm not going to talk about it here. Just follow along with me. I've got all this extra weight, and it's making me hate myself. But I choose to be okay anyway, even though I just can't seem to lose the weight and keep it off. There must be something wrong with me. I profoundly love and accept myself. Even though I have had this huge fight around weight. And I know now that it's a fight I can't win. But I'm open to there being an easier way. Because I profoundly love and accept myself. I wonder if it's possible that something gentler can help me. Something that doesn't have anything to do with pushing harder or staying strong or being accountable. I've tried those things and they didn't work. Now I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try listening to myself. That deep inner part of me that is actually pretty wise. I allow myself to be open to a new way of looking at myself because I profoundly love and accept myself. Hold your wrist points, breathe, and blow it out. And say peace. Okay, good. All right, now that was opening you up a little bit. Now I want to give you something that's designed to increase neuroplasticity. There have been some studies done that the position of your tongue is affected by your emotional state. So I engineered it in a different way so that your tongue affects your emotional state. It's just reverse engineering. So what I want you to do is throughout the day, pay attention to where your tongue is in your mouth. And if it's hanging out at the bottom of your mouth, I want you to just gently, don't go, oh, I'm a bad person. My tongue isn't where it's supposed to be. Don't. Be nice to yourself. You're a good person. For heaven's sake. I want you to just gently put it back in position for a little bit and feel better. So I want you to take the tip of your tongue and put it behind your upper teeth. Now slide it back just a little ways, and there are a series of ridges right there in your mouth, behind your upper teeth. Feel them? Okay, put the tip of your tongue there. Now take the rest of your tongue and put it up against the roof of your mouth. Okay? Now I want you to hold it there for let's hold it for about 4 breaths. Breathe in. And out. Just through your nose. Again. And 3. And 4, last breath. Okay, good. That's going to help the work we're doing to stick for you. Now, the next part of what I want to do is some visualization. It's kind of a meditation. I want to help you get in touch with yourself and what you're actually feeling and to feel okay about it. Don't be afraid of your emotions because there are better ways of working with them and feeling them. When we don't want to feel them or when they feel too overwhelming, that's when we get that disconnect in our brain. That's when we get that trigger. Okay. All right, now I want you to close your eyes and take a big breath in through your nose. Hold it and blow it out through your mouth. And now just breathing easily and gently, I want you to relax your shoulders. And just follow the sound of my voice. I want you to imagine that you're at the edge of a big forest of tall trees. And these are pine trees, and they're enormous. And it's a beautiful sunny day. I want you to look at the trees in front of you. Feel the sun shining down on your face, your shoulders. And now I want you to walk towards the trees. And go ahead and walk into the trees. These are enormously tall, old trees. I want you to just appreciate all around you that the sunlight is dappled from coming down through the branches. And as you walk, I want you to feel the pine needles crunching underneath your feet. And just continue walking. And now I want you to come to a stop and just notice all the trees around you. And I want you to look to your left at the tree nearest to you. And I want you to, just in your imagination, reach your hand out and put it on the trunk of that tree. And feel the rough bark. There may be even a little bit of sticky pine sap on there. And now I want you to reach up to the bough that's nearest you and pull one of the pine needles off and run your thumb over it. And you're going to feel that it's rough one direction and smooth another. Now I want you to break the needle in half and smell it. Take a big sniff of that gorgeous pine scent. And take one more big breath. It's really fresh and refreshing. Now I want you to put the needle back together, because you can, and put it back where it came from on the tree. And you're going to see that it instantly rejoins the rest of that branch. Now I want you to continue walking through the forest, hearing and feeling the pine needles crunch underneath your feet. And up ahead, you're going to come to a clearing, a little meadow. And I want you to walk out into the middle of that meadow. And it's still just a beautiful sunny day. There are even wildflowers there. And I want you to just sit down comfortably. Now I want you to allow the part of yourself and invite the part of yourself that has most recently been sad or mad or scared. I want you to invite that part of you to step out from the trees. Some of you may see several of you at different ages. Some of you may see yourself as a little child. You may see a version of yourself that looks just like you do now. But I want you to invite that one or those ones to step out from the trees. Knowing that you're completely safe here. And that there's nothing wrong with your emotions. All of us human beings come equipped with exactly the same set of emotions. You just felt overwhelmed. We all have that sometimes. There's nothing wrong with you. Now allow the version of you, maybe one, there may be many, to come closer to you and invite them to sit down. Now I want you to reach your hands out and hold hands with that version or those versions of you. If there are many of you, all of you are going to form a circle and hold hands. And now I want you to ask them to tell you what you need to hear. These parts of you are filled with wisdom. And they're all you. Don't ever think that you aren't the best judge of what's right for you. You are, 100% of the time. And now I want you to let those parts of you, that other part of you or those parts of you, talk to you. And they're going to be gentle with you. They're not going to say bad stuff. They're going to show you and tell you where the hurt is. And keep holding hands. Keep feeling that support and love for yourself, because these are all you. Keep listening. Good. Continue holding hands. And I want you to feel the love in your heart moving out through your arms and into your hands, and through your hands into those other parts of you that are actually all you, until you have a big love loop going on. And just know that you can always come back and do this again if you want to. And that these other parts of you are always available to you. All you have to do is listen. Okay, now I want you to remind them that you love them and they love you. And let go of hands. And you're going to see that one or those ones get up and walk back into the trees, but they're leaving you. They're a part of you. I want you to feel a sense of joy knowing how wonderful this is. And that you can always come back here anytime you want. Good. Now I want you to stand up in the middle of the meadow where you've been sitting. And I want you to take a big breath in through your nose. And blow it out. And open your eyes. You did great. Welcome back. Come back and use this one as often as you need. And again, don't forget, there's a lot of help here for you. Get my free gift when you click show more below. Come join me in my private Facebook group. And as promised, there is no pitch attached to this. I'm here for you. I want to help you feel better and to think about some things in a different way. Help you change your perspective so that you can actually be your best, feel your best. So again, come back and see me. Please subscribe to me here on YouTube. If you like this video, please hit like, and I will see you again soon. Mwah.